Hey there guys, how you doing? I'm Yalek. It is the end of crab weekend, and I still have to do my daily event, which is not what we're going to be talking about here. Just finished my last attack on the Hasty Crab. I am not a first-rate crabber, but this is the Hasty Crab, which is one of the better and more fun crabs. Insane speed boosts. And so I got two, speed boosts equate with more damage because your troops just shoot faster. So I got to stage 108, and I gotta be honest with you, I am exhausted. My boost ran out about 5 stages ago. I was hoping, I just kept going. I wasn't gonna boost again at this point, but look at that. Troop speed 300%. Insane. So we've got a couple of replays. It is weird on crab. Honestly, I hated the 40s on this crab. There were, those horrible big octagon stages. I felt like hits, bases that there was just no way around it. It was going to have to be 2 hits or maybe even 3. Nasty, ugly bases that didn't really seem to have good solutions. And then hit the 80s and 90s, late 80s and 90s, and just started steamrolling things. So, some solos here. Unbelievable. I'm going to, switch that. I'm going to yank this up right now. It is a very nice troop health, but it will not be needed anymore here. We're going to do that. Honestly, my brain is fried. This one is at 108. I got another one to... and save that. Let me see, do I have this account got to stage 72 or 73 or something like that, plus I did a third account. It wasn't pushing, but I was pushing for upgrades, so I needed to do landing craft, so I got 2 landing craft on that account. I've seen, I don't know how many crab stages over the course of this weekend. It's got to be over 200, and my brain is just toast. Anyway, had a lot of fun with it. Love this crab. One of the diamond trophies I didn't have already, so I was able to go ahead and improve that. Let's look at a couple of these. Some of them were not pretty, but a win is a win. Let's see what the troop combos are. Scorchers on that one. I used a lot of tank, Gren, Bombardier, and at certain, at a certain point, the Grenadiers became kind of a specialty item. Let's see, RCZM there. Back to the tanks and Gren's tanks and Bombardiers. RCCM there. Well, actually, not even RCZM. It's RCGM, but anyway, various troop combos, nothing really fun. These two were not solos, but 101 is giving 6 intel, and 107, these would be the same for anybody. 107 is also giving 6 intel, so I have done my work for the week in this task force, which is actually kind of nice, because I very rarely help very much with the intel here, but today I can. Intel reset this afternoon, and I'm already at 90 for the week. So that should allow me a few days of not... Wait. Aw. There we go. Okay, so we've lost a couple there. Did not realize that was going to happen. That is unfortunate. Oh well. I don't even know what stage this was. Oh, anyway, hang on. So this is troops... This crab maxes out with your troops moving it with a 300% speed bonus. This is what that looks like. I was asked to show what that looks like. It is, hopefully at least one of these hits will have a smoky element. It is a pain in the ass trying to smoke troops like this. And it's not even... it's not even just the speed, although the speed is a factor, but I like speed. Speed is good. I do speed all the time with my warriors. But the other problem is you're smoking troops that are not really all that easily smoked. And inevitably the problem was I'm using Gramps. I'm using either tanks with Gramps or I'm using rifles with Gramps, but I'm using Gramps. This is now boosted to 2 times speed. This hit was not pretty, I believe, and it just came down to a few grenadiers just sitting back here. That's pretty much what all of these come down to. A few grenadiers get to the range where nothing else can shoot them, and then they take down a shield. Let's see, which one was that? We lost the first 2. That must have been 92. But yeah, tanks with grenadiers or grenadiers. Why do I keep saying grenadiers? Gramps. Bombers. I'm thinking with the G for Gramps and G for grenadiers. Tanks and bombers or rifles and bombers, but one way or another, bombers. Here, let's see. So hang on. Drop back here, and this is regular speed. So you've got a bunch of troops here. Critters, look how quickly they're moving. Rifles move quickly. Everything here moves pretty quickly. There are no Zookas in this formation. Zookas have kind of become a little bit obsolete, not gonna lie. I tried using Zookas in one of these hits, a smoky version of one of these hits, but it was in this kind of layout too. But back here was very, very favorable for those kind of troops, and there was a mine that I couldn't see behind the core. There were a couple mines on the path, that I managed to clear. You can use those cryo bombs to clear most of them. And then there was just one more that I didn't see, and I had not a single Zooka left by the time I got back here. Had some heavies, had Everspark, able to clear a few things that way, but we'll put that into a faster speed now. I don't. Pretty much the whole crab looks like this to me. This is in 2 times, but yeah, I'm not kidding. I actually had dreams last night that involved speed running Zookas. It was because I was doing this on that other account, the one that got to the 70s. I was doing this till like 12:30 at night and then just rolled over and went to bed. So yeah, closed my eyes and this is what I was seeing in my sleep. Just frenetic, frantic, crazy troops running in all different directions. And inevitably, you get them under smoke. Was that 93 or 94 that we just watched? Oh, this is a different one, so that must have been 93. This is 94. This looks like it was going to be a tank one, so I'll actually put that in tanks and the bombardiers. And there's a lot of rockets on this stage and fewer of the, boom cannon, doom cannon kind of things that are very, very bad for tanks. So those are the sorts of things you think about when picking your troop combinations. But yeah, so tried, some of these were smoky hits, especially the 2 in the 80s, the ones that I was not able to show you because they're no longer available. That sucked because those were kind of like crunch time hits. I was looking at the number of, I wanted to get to 100, and I was looking at the number of attacks I had available still. And was starting to look like maybe I wouldn't get there. So for some of these, I went a little bit crazy, and I tried the high-risk attacks, like I just told you. The one with the Zookas did not work out. Some of them did, and those 2 in the 80s were both actually pretty fun. Wait, why is that no longer available? 94 is available, but 96 is not. Let's see if 97 is there. It is not. Unfortunate. Anyway, you get all these different kind of troops trying to smoke them together, if moving at different speeds and so on, so there's just peeking all over the place. It gets very messy, and especially with bombardiers. Like, I'm trying to throw 3 or 4 smokes for a parking zone. When you get to the spot that you're smoking to, with Zookas, you would have to throw a couple of smokes, and the Zookas will park pretty comfortably under that. With these bombers, I'm trying 3 and I'm trying 4, and they still manage to. I want to curse right now, but I'll avoid it. We'll save that for special occasions. But they still want to peek out of the smoke every possible way. They are just. I mean, like I said, they've probably made Zookas obsolete for something like this, but at the same time, they are challenging. Anyway, all of this has been, it's a quarantine weekend, you know, we're in the middle of COVID and all that. Not a whole lot of things to do. The weather was awful, and I have boomed until my brain is pretty much jelly, so it's not even 11 o'clock. It's quarter of 11 for me, and I'm going to do this Dr. T that's left over and probably just collapse. So anyway, sorry about those replays that were not available anymore. That, like I said, is pretty unfortunate, but and like I said, I am not a first-rate player at doing this, honestly. I've seen there are people who are just way more creative than I am about this, but this was fun regardless. Did push some things, not as much as some others do, obviously, but you know, that's not normally my style of play. I do very, very different things. I do some of them well, but they're not at all they're not totally relatable. Still, tons and tons of fun. This is probably the best crab. It's just insane. Just things going on all over the place. And the best part was just the powder. I'm up almost 100 powder. It's probably more like 150 if you count 130? Wait. If you factor in the boosts, because I used powder to boost up. I think I did 3 boosts on this, and I got all of that back, and I have almost 100 more than I started with. I think I was like 1266, 1358, so this all makes me happy. This makes me happy. This is just powder for forever and ever and ever. Love that. Can't complain. Had a great time. Tired as hell. Like, thumbs up, all of that stuff. Good night.